Gataki tended to his duty as always. He would watch over the God Emperor of mankind and be there to protect him, until the day would come when he would gloriously rise again, not as a corpse emperor trapped on a golden throne, but as the deity who led the imperium of man. There was only one thing that had bothered him. The Adeptus Custode could have sworn that at times he could see his noble master in tears. They were always of tar, almost as if oil fell out of the empty sockets where his eyes had been so many years ago, when he fought Horus Lupercal and was forced to deliver death to his own son, that Primarch who had betrayed them all. It had been 10,000 years, but the Horus heresy had left a wound that would not heal. Instead, it was left alone. No balm, no salve, no curative. The wound had become infected. It had festered in the absence of something important, and that was something they knew not of. What did their master require of them? They could only preserve his decaying corpse. In this life or not life, the God Emperor of mankind had become imprisoned by misfortune. All of his children lost to him due to the whispers of those who lurk in the immaterium. Those demons had taken everything from them. What could they do now but pray, plead, and beg? Those tears had begun to clear. The tar had gone, and with that, what tears fell? They were no different than any other mortal. Gataki felt an inkling of something he did not dare feel before, that which had been warned against in the Codex Astartes, which would only bring about heartache, that elusive thing called hope. The Custode could almost swear that he saw the God Emperor of mankind begin to stir. If I could smile, I would have. It had begun. The gambit I had made was coming into fruition. The Star Child need only return to my side and breach that eternity gate to enter my tomb, this sanctum imperialis where all would be revealed to them. When the Custode somehow notices that my countenance morphed into that of determination, Gataki fell to his knees in rapturous supplication. This truly had to be the work of the grievous miracle. I had to resist the urge to snort at that. Their fanaticism was unbearable at times. It would be a waste of energy to reprimand these zealots, and I had to be careful. I had to endure. Otherwise, my effort would have been for nothing. This sacrifice would have been made in vain, and what would this all be for? It would have meant nothing. I could be him again. I could see them all. I could save them again. I could remember what it was that made a person into a hero. I had made many mistakes. In my foolish pride, I had denied the obvious. I had become an immortal, just as my son had done when he accepted that gift from the Black Wolf. Guts could have salvaged all of this, if only he was here. I had to face that and understand why my people had to be free. I thought back to what Sanguinius had requested, that I stayed my hand as I did with Baal and allowed my people the chance to prove themselves. He was everything I hoped my children would become, and the betrayer had taken him from us all. My Horus Lupercal had slain his own brother. I wish that I could have told the brightest one how much I loved him, and that his red thirst was a flaw inherent in myself. It was never your fault, Sanguinius. The blood angels, those grandchildren of mine, they suffered from my horrid affliction. It was no secret. It was my shame, and you had thought it was always your own. I would have never turned my back on you, or any of my grandchildren. I would have found a cure. That poison came from my blood. It had been born from my soul, and war which had enthralled it. It should have been Sanguinius leading the Imperium of man in my stead. Holy Terra should have been his, but there was still the other who had been in limbo, who had endured every humiliation possible, the one who never looked to me as any kind of parent. Robout Guilliman would have to shoulder that responsibility, and I would not fail him. I would show the blade of unity that I could be better than I was, and that I could at least be an emperor he could believe in. Lorgar Aurelian had been true, and I had punished him for it. I could not deny the truth. The Imperium of man needed something of the divine to watch over them, and I would be that seneschal. I would be their god. At last, I would not run away. That mortality may be in my past, but I need not be mortal to be Arlan Vorlesh again, the Knight Commander of the Sixth Crusade, the champion, the herald, the harbinger, the father I would have to be if I am to save my sons, all of them without exception. The anathema would come for them all. I would bring order to the chaos. I will return. I will not be of war anymore. I will be of that love I knew once. I will be, I will be, I will be. The world will change. I will change.